So, X Division stuff for the month. We began with the Super X Cup, of course, which Chris Sabin won. Then we followed with a 6-man tag team match on NWA-TNA pay-per-view number 62, in which Nasawa, Michael Shane, and Chris Sabin faced Frankie Kazarian, Juventud Guerrera, and the debuting Eric Young.
David Young.
It did say David Young on his lower third.
But yeah, Eric Young.
Showtime Eric Young making his debut here in September 2003. He didn't actually do much of note in the match itself.
He got to hit his cool move.
Oh, he did. He hit the wheelbarrow neckbreaker, which is legitimately one of my favorite wrestling moves. That move rocks.
Do you like it because it's Eric Young's move, or do you like it because of the move?
I like it because of the move. It's a cool move.
I remember it always had such impact in the video game. That always felt like a big finish in the video game.
So the big story in this 6-man tag team match is that the heel team won. Nasawa, Sabin, and Michael Shane won because Frankie Kazarian was distracted at ringside, Liam, talking to a girl.
Ooh.
And not just any girl, Liam. You might have recognized the girl to be Angelina Love.
Angel Williams?
That was her indie name at the time, yeah.
Yeah, and she stayed there the whole show.
Yeah, because the Raven and Shane Douglas brawl in her direction in the main event, and she's just sitting there.
Trying not to get bled on.
Which is, I think, the main goal when you go to an NWA-TNA show. Just try not to be bled on.
Or puked on.
There's a lot of bodily fluids that can end up on you at an NWA-TNA show.
A few less since Bruce left.
So this is the...
or Puppet. You can choose one or the other, really.
Well, Puppet might be Watermelon or whatever the hell he broke over that dude's head.
Bit of everything.
So this is the beginning of Frankie Kazarian's heel turn. He's too big of a ladies' man at ringside to actually focus on the match they're having.
Much like the Sandman.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Sandman and Frankie Kazarian, two people who I think of hand in hand.
Maybe they'll show us some hand in hand.
You've gotten the pizza and now you become unhinged.
I haven't eaten it yet.
It's the hunger.
It's just staring at me.
The hunger and the smell has driven you to insanity.
A little bit.
NWA-TNA baby number 24. We had a number 53, September 24th. We had a number 1 contenders matches. Jerry Lynn, Juventud Guerrero, Nasawa, Frankie Kazarian, and Chris Sabin faced off in an elimination match to determine the next contender for Michael Shane's championship.
Nasawa was robbed.
They did misspell Nasawa in the video package for the match. They said Nasawa.
Yeah, come on, Jeremy. Listen, I know you've been up for 25 hours doing this.
But you will get the name of Nasawa right.
He's the chief strategy officer.
Frankie Kazarian came out. He went over to the TNA girl and started flirting with her.
Lollipop, thank you.
Yes, of course.
She has a name and a new haircut.
Yeah, don't you correct me about Lollipop when you didn't even recognize her in the watch along.
I recognized her by the end of it.
She only did her ass high spot, and then you're like, oh, it's Lollipop!
Well, that's her most known for spot. Would you blame someone if there was someone wearing a disguise and then they hit the Stone Cold Stunner and you're like, oh, it's Stone Cold Steve
It's
Austin?
Shark Boy! It's Glenn Gilberti!
Not at this point. Well, you could tell the difference, I'm sure.
So Frankie was flirting with her.
Let's talk about Frankie's hair.
Let's talk about Frankie's test gear.
Yeah, let's talk about Frankie.
Frankie in his big test tights.
And his pitch black hair.
Yeah, why is he dyeing his hair so black?
I didn't mind it, but he's just gone through some phases here.
Yeah, he's trying to work out who he is.
Don't blame him.
It's like, what does a ladies' man look like?
That's the thing, he's like, he hit puberty. And he's like, oh, I like girls, not just wrestling.
So what do I look like to attract girls?
Yeah, this is actually the whole story of Frankie Kazarian trying to lose his virginity.
Yeah, by looking like Test.
I mean, listen, I'm sure it worked for Test. He had that whole thing with Stephanie.
Yeah.
Frankie needs to link up with Vince Russo.
I was about to go to the same place. This match had one of my biggest pet peeves about elimination matches, where there are people breaking up pinfalls.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Who cares?
Yeah, this match was a match. Jerry Lynn won. The most notable thing is about the match. Juventud Guerrero was originally booked to win the X Division number contenders match and wrestle Shane for the title. However, they got word that he's got visa problems and weren't confident he'd be able to make it. Guerrero, like so many others, has been using a tourist visa, which means you aren't allowed to work. He was stopped at the border and has been explaining, if they see his wrestling outfit, that he's looking for a job that he's not working. Imagine, that must be terrifying every time he crossed the border, wasn't it?
Yeah. It reminds me of the Chris Hero story.
He was warned that if he tries it again, they'll never let him back into the country. Like, every time you go to work there, it's like, oh god, if I'm caught, I might be kicked out forever.
Well, all the Canadians who were trying to work PWG at the time, Bailey and Smash Brothers and stuff, you know?
Must be a very difficult thing to go through.
It's very silly.
Yeah, borders. Why do we have them?
Yeah, tear down all the borders.
Imagine there's there's a line about borders in that song. In Imagine.
Imagine there's no borders.
That's definitely the line.
You could if you tried.
That might actually be the line.
Don't worry, I'm gonna sing it so perfectly that we may get copyrighted.
Oh no.
Control F. Borders. Garrett, I regret to inform you, there is no borders in here. There is the line, in fact, imagine there's no countries.
There you go. That's what I'm going for.
It isn't hard to do.
Which was more or less what you just said.
Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh.